Okay, we are live, and we had a technical difficulty, and it's actually quite funny because Don, when you're on your cell phone and you're talking to a family member, and you're just talking and talking and talking, and 10 minutes later you realize
Oh, there.
nobody's there. So Don and I, it's 2:10, and we've been yapping away for 10 minutes, having a great time, right?
Oh, I think everybody missed the best 10 minutes of what we had to say. I mean, we were on a roll. We were so excited. I'm sure we can pick that up and share it in a post. And maybe that would be great. The first 10 minutes of a LinkedIn Live that never went live. Uh, but if nothing else, we warmed ourselves up. We're excited, mainly because, like Mike had opened the first 10 minutes, and now I'll get the second 10 minutes opening. Is this LINKTANK is surpassing wild expectations, and I mean that in a humble way. We just started out, but when things start clicking, when two orders turn into 4 and 8 and 16, it's only going to keep going like that. And also, when you're part of the process, when you are part of the product itself, and you're going to improve every week, not only by what me and Mike learn every week, and it's exponential, because Mike's got a huge collaborative mastermind group that's amazing. I mean, if you could see the people in it, you join just for the association. And I've got a hands-on group every Wednesday that I work with to get feedback, to share things, to really throw things around so I don't have tunnel vision, right, or blinders on. And then we created this outlet, LINKTANK, on LinkedIn Live that now takes everything between Mike's group, me, my group, me and Mike together, and in 20 minutes tries to throw as much through a fire hose as we can, so that you come out of here not only motivated, but action driven. And my suggestion, when this is over, the first thing you do is something that we asked you or shared with you today, because you'll get it done and you'll see results. And that's what we're about, is results. We know time is money, and we know money's money. And if you can compress the time, minimize your investment before you get a return, but more importantly, just like our experience the last 2 weeks, if all of a sudden things become transformational once you start making adjustments, and believe me, it's not that you're not working hard enough, it's not smart enough, and it's not based on success by people who are doing it. So that's why LINKTANK's here. That's why Mike's here. And, in time, we're going to have more testimonials of people that not only took action, but got results and want to participate. And that's another thing we're very open to. Feel free to comment. Feel free to reach out to us, because we're all about you being all about everybody, right? Doing better together. So, Mike, share a little bit of the wisdom that you never have a shortage of.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think we need to pull back in the first 10 minutes that disappear, because we're talking about the iceberg effect. And
Mm-hmm.
from a mindset standpoint, when I first started after listening to Gary Vaynerchuk to try to figure out LinkedIn 3 years ago by myself, I got to 25 views in a post and 50 views, and I was stuck at 100 views. And I was like, oh my God, I'm putting so much energy in, and I'm going to like give up. And then out of nowhere, Gary Vaynerchuk showed up and he said, don't be a fool. If you had 100 people in your boardroom every day that were more or less ideal customers, 100 people sitting in front of you, that would revolutionize your business, wouldn't it? And I was like, yeah, I used to be on Wall Street, and we had a nice conference room. And if I got 10 people in to present a concept to, I was like excited. So I was like, shit, I'm not giving up. So I kept at it again. It went 100 to 125. So I don't know what my number is now since I started, but it's probably crossing over 5 million. I ended up with 1 million views in the first 12 months after I figured it all out. This year, we're hoping to do a half a billion views for our customers, a half a billion views. And the bottom line is mindset. Like here, you're watching Don and I create something from nothing. And literally, it starts as an idea and a conviction. And the fact, of course, we have specialized knowledge, but so do you. Everyone that's watching this, you have specialized knowledge. So that is your gift. That's what you get to share with the world. So the content part, it's not something out of nothing because we have a lot of war stripes to earn it. But the something out of nothing is the fact that we're at it 2 weeks and you can see how many people are watching when they're live. It's 2 or it's 4 or 8, and we are totally okay with that. And before the story I'm going to share with you, we're like, yeah, we just know, but it's the iceberg because what happens on live is one aspect of what we're creating, but on the replay is a whole nother aspect, and that's what's below the surface. That's the much bigger piece. So we're getting now, I think, I don't know, 300 or 400 views of the replays. So once again, we're in that territory. If someone said, okay, twice a week, Don, you and Mike, twice a week for 20 minutes on a Tuesday and a Friday, 500 people would get to hear you teach that were ideal customers. Do you think that would benefit LINKTANK, your business, what you're trying to create with this group? Of course it will. So one thing, as Don mentioned, it's all about what you can take away from today. What's going to be your win today from listening to Don and I and spending the moments and minutes with us is I want you to focus on one, mindset, meaning that you got to be in it for the long term. And we're just asking you to take something and be consistent. Whether it's you want to just say, okay, I'll comment on other people's posts. I'm not ready to put my own content out. Okay, every day, go find a post. You could actually look a keyword in the search and get a whole list of posts. Maybe I should show that real quick. And I'll just show that real quick. So you can do this right now when we get off. Let me share my screen. This is there's no excuse not to do this. Okay, go in here. This is LinkedIn. Close this. Go to your LinkedIn, and in this search bar, it's like the 5th largest search bar in the world. And if you typed in what should I type in, Don? What's the topic?
Sales.
Sales. Perfect. And you hit sales. You'll notice that here you've got these bubbles. So I can do sales, people, groups, jobs, events, but this one here is posts. So I hit sales post. This is going to give me every post that is going to be about sales. So actually, interesting enough, I must have used a hashtag that was startup lead generation or something to do with sales. So that's my own. But here we go. That's Gary Vaynerchuk. That happens to say 5 days ago. I don't know how it's sorting these actually at the moment. But then everyone, here's 2 days ago, Casey Graham, who's big, Daniel, Marcus. So you'll start to see that these are all the posts that have sales as a hashtag. This is 6 hours ago. Marcus Sheridan. Don't know who he is. But then you can see he's got 19 comments. All I'm asking you to do is say, explode the comments and then look in here and say, okay, Marcus Sheridan, keynote speaker, digital sales. And if I want to acquire customers about sales, marketing, something like that, just go in here. And you can say, oh, Danny Kimball, she responded. Marketing will be a key component of overall business strategy, can positively impact all aspects of your business, as noted, not just new revenue. So she's talking about marketing and addition to revenue. If I hit reply and I then do at Danny, she'll come up first. And I just say, wow, loved your comment and the fact that you took the time, I'll put that like this, time to comment. Taking action always wins. So what am I? I'm not like I could add more if I read the whole thing, add more value, but you don't even have to do that. You can just acknowledge somebody, hit reply,
Mm-hmm.
right? So now let's go see who's Danny. I don't even know who she is, but She's going to be alerted. I replied, I'm complimenting her. She's cool. 4,000 followers. So this is just one little thing that you can do.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we wanted to emphasize today is to basically take action. The mindset part is it's okay if it's small. Maybe you are posting. If you're posting, post every day. If you're getting 20 views or 50 views, good. Just
Mm-hmm.
keep doing it. It's going to grow. But what we're asking you to do is to do something, right? Don't let the mind say, oh, this is not working. It is working.
Yeah, Mike, you're so spot on because it's so much easier to look back than to look forward, right? And if you don't know where something's going, you don't really know where you are. So that's the key element to why LINKTANK is here. And, to Mike's point, I compare this. I was one of the first 6 companies to be invited on Walmart's marketplace. It was a closed private place, and it was me, Wayfair, ShoeBuy, eBags, and 2 other companies. And I couldn't believe it that Walmart would give me their whole website. I mean, can you imagine walking in a Walmart store? They say, take all the aisles you want, put anything on it you want, sell it for whatever you want, and only pay us when it sells. And then having a virtual inventory. So, I excelled. I became #1 on the channel. At one point was listing 800,000 SKUs a day. Track pricing and stockouts when you're doing that. And I had a run at a 99.5% thing to stay on Walmart. They had very stringent qualifications. So take that to LinkedIn. They give you this whole platform for free. They give you all the people's names, how to connect to them. You can post 1,000 times a day if you can post 1,000 times a day, right? No one's doing anything, a 0.5%. And me and Mike talk about it. We say we're like 1/10 of 1%. I think you had a couple more zeros once you get to LinkedIn Live, once you bring a LINKTANK in, because it's almost like medals on your chest, right? If you're going to compare yourself to somebody, what are they doing every day? Where are they? Who are they with? And I think to Mike's point, that lesson that was just taught, which I think is hugely valuable, is you choose who you want to do business with. Don't let someone find you. You know who you want. The outbound is your time to be relevant, to reach out. The inbound is your time to qualify and decide. And I think, if anything, people are putting so much time in doing things in the wrong order, with the wrong context, and with the wrong people, right? They
Yes.
say you're a factor of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Well, whoever you're spending the most time with on LinkedIn, how are they doing on LinkedIn? What is their response? What is their sales? And if you want to get better, disassociation is just as important as association. And that's what me and Mike are offering, is a bridge, is a safe passage from entering LinkedIn to success on LinkedIn, and doing it at your pace, at your budget, at your timeline. But what we require, because we've got our reputation on the line, and it's based on the success we bring to others, is commitment. And whatever that commitment is, if you say, I'm going to post once a week, that's your commitment. They say it's not where you start, it's where you finish. So start where you are, with what you got, with who you are. Don't think you're not good enough. The people who aren't good enough, or the people aren't doing anything. They say too, when you enter something that's really exciting, your excitement level is this high, your knowledge level is this low. Over time, your excitement is going to come down. If your knowledge doesn't go up, you're done. That's just the way it works.
I love that.
That's
Yeah.
right. And here's the other thing. Even if your knowledge isn't creeping up as much as it should, me and Mike will bring the excitement back up, right? We'll keep
That
you
is,
motivated. We'll keep you in the game. We'll save you from yourself for a while, you know? and give you things that, like Mike just said, if you do what he just said, and seriously do it. I mean, don't just feel guilty and do something and run away, but actually look for people who you were hoping would look for you. That's the idea. And don't sell them when you meet them. To Mike's point, meet them where they are with what they're doing, become a peer. And after 2 weeks, you say to the person, I have enjoyed your post. I love supporting it. Wouldn't it be great if we could have a conversation and share insights, right? And who's going
Absolutely.
to turn that down? Nobody. But would you turn it down? I wouldn't. It happens so rarely too. So yeah, action is everything. Mike, what more can you say to that?
Well, it's true, and I'm going to give one more place that people can do this. So we said sales. We just do the same example, and now we looked at posts. So if I want to say okay, sales, and I want to look at events. So these are all the events that are taking place that are catered around sales. And I could actually look and say, are any of these events really like in my bailiwick? Like I can add value, and the people that would be attending these events also would be potential clients of mine. And so you can just go through this and just pick one: the 6 steps to creating a book to double your business for CEOs. So this is someone that's teaching people how to write books to double your sales. And so you're going to say, okay, who are these people that are, having the event? This guy, Andrew's got 9,000, 16,000. There's 6 people attending. So you can say, wow, Andrew and Alika, she's got 16,000 followers. And if they're helping people create sales by using a book, so their ideal customer must be the same as mine. If I'm selling something about sales, then maybe I just go and say, this guy, Andrew, seems like all his customers I could be servicing as well. And then you just say, okay, let's just see what he's about. And you just this is pretty simple stuff. You go and take a look at his activity. He hasn't posted lately. So you say, okay, well, that must be a little bit of a dead end because he's not posting. He's having an event, but maybe his partner, the woman, Alinka, with 16,000 people, she's the hot one. So you do the same thing. You say, okay, let's see what she's doing on LinkedIn. 16,000 people, and 3 hours ago, 1 week ago, yeah, she's on. She's doing it. So then you can just go look at her posts. And you can then see, what is she posting about? She's adding value to CEOs to help them build their sales. And is any of her stuff have any traction? So you can see here at 16,000 people, she's posting, and basically none of the stuff has any traction. Mm-hmm. So that means I just spent 2 minutes down basically a dead end because I can't add any value out of the box, because they're both on LinkedIn, but they're not doing well. So then I just go on to the next. 2 minutes invested. That's what we call business development. Now, from my perspective, if you want to hear, in my perspective, I'm going to reach out to Alinka and say, oh my God, you got 16,000 people. You're putting energy and effort into posting, but obviously you're doing something wrong because the data is telling you nobody cares. No likes, no comments, no shares, and no sends. No likes, no 2 thumbs up, no comments, no sends. So that's how I'll add value.
Yeah, well, I think that's so appropriate because you wonder, how did someone get 16,000 connections if they haven't got any interactions? That's just a question.
Yeah.
What Mike is saying, it's a two-sided opportunity. If somebody's prolific, does a ton of posting, is very an influencer, they're a great person to be associated with. On the other side, someone who should be doing a lot and isn't using LinkedIn. I mean, they're taking the time to do everything but get the result. they're putting a post up, they're doing all that stuff. And, if that person was listening to this show, that would be an important insight to be acquired.
Yeah.
And I think whoever goes out there and can share what we just shared to say, here's what I see. Are you aware of this? You're doing great. You're knocking it out of the park. And that's where you comment and you applaud them. On the other side, hey, you're dead in the water right now. How long do you want to be that way? So, Mike, I'm sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, no, it's perfect. So I'm going to take it and go one level deeper because we want to teach people. So whatever your business is, if you found someone that was an ideal customer, now she's an ideal customer of mine, Don, then the next step is to say, okay, well then if I'm going to see if I can get this person on a Zoom meeting so I can help them. I generally know that I can link I can take her from where she is, which nobody really cares about any of her posts, and I'm insulting her. It's just the data. It's 0 across the board, to 20 thumbs up, 50 thumbs up, 10 or 20 comments, hundreds of views. I can take her there. I know that. We have a system that does that. So then I just go in here and say, let's see what she's about. So she says, Leaders Presses help you just that. So you can share your wisdom with the world, create yourself a lead generation and lead conversion tool. So this is what it is, your wisdom with the world. Leaders Press it's a lead conversion tool. Okay, so watch what I'm going to do. I'm just going to copy this because this is ironic. In her own words, in her own bio, her belief is that Leaders Press and a book is going to allow you to share wisdom with the world, create leads, conversions, and build authority. Well, hello, that's what LinkedIn does, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just going to copy this and I'm going to go here and I'm going to say something like this. Must be connected to her so I can just message. And I'm just going to go like this. Make it fresh. Fresh message. Right? Then I got this from your bio. And I'm going to pop it in there. I'm going to hit enter. So I'll give her a break with this. And I'm going to say, wow, wouldn't you know LinkedIn provides the same opportunity? Just a different channel. So I'm connecting the dots. This is the whole passion in life is about books is going to get you, leads and thought leadership. I'm saying LinkedIn provides the same opportunity. Now I'm just going to connect the dots.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to show you how to explode your linked LINKED LinkedIn with little extra effort, right? Because she is posting.
Mm-hmm.
No, the point here is that you said this. There's inbound, which content creates inbound, and it's more of a shotgun approach because you can't control where the content's going. And then people get interested, they get to know, like, and trust you, and they reach out to you. As long as your messaging is on point, you're talking about problems that your ideal customers have, you're going to attract the right people. Outbound, which what I just did, is beautiful because you get to literally see this person. Not only is she an ideal customer for me because I absolutely 100% know I could blow up her LinkedIn, which will radically grow her business. And it's a double win because every one of those book authors needs me. So now I get a new client and a new partnership. So this is, it's unlimited opportunity, right? If you want to go and talk about leadership, right? You're selling leadership. You just do the same thing. Type in leadership. And what do? You go to posts. and then you just start looking down posts. I don't know why it says 3 days ago, and then all of a sudden it goes to 6 days, and it will go to like 1 minute ago.
Yeah, I think what this really demonstrates is, first of all, deciding who, what characteristics do you want to see it in a connection to reach out with outbound. Now, this is excellent. I also see that people who view your profile is a great opportunity to connect with the people who you feel could be an ideal candidate. I think what it all comes down to is pick a number and do it every day for a week, right? 2 people a day, 5 people a day, whatever it is, but just do it for 5 days straight. First of all, you'll get better by the fifth day. You'll get a better understanding. But here's the other thing is you'll gain confidence because you're taking control. The majority of people on LinkedIn, I mean, this is most people's experience. They log on to LinkedIn, they look at their messages, right? They look at connection requests, then they look at comments, they look at likes, they look at all this other stuff, right? So
Mm-hmm.
what have you done so far? Everything everybody else asked you to do that you had no plan on doing. And what was your plan that you would have done if no one asked you to do something? And that should come first. Do your outbound before you answer your emails or your messages. And, another great example of what Mike demonstrated just now, he was able to go through this whole person and their partner in 2 minutes,
Two
right?
minutes.
2 minutes. So if you can do, and it's because Mike has been there so many times, right? Just like I've been there, you just know it when you see it. You know what to look for, you know what's good, what's medium, and what's not good. And if you're of service, you're sharing with the person an expert advice. Hey, I just checked out your stuff. You got great stuff. You got no response. It's obvious. It's a visual thing everybody sees. It's an embarrassment, right? If I put that much work into something, got one comment, and it might even be a friend who you can't even give the whole credit to, I would not do that again the next day. What Mike's sharing is every day you get a report card from every post, every comment, you get a report card if it's responded to. Listen to the report card and make the adjustment, but that's a lot because if you want to take the time and trouble that me and Mike have individually and collectively to get to where we are, the question is why, when you can shortcut the whole thing,
Yeah.
get get to satisfaction. You know why people quit things? They're unsatisfied, right? If you went to a slot machine and every time it paid off, when would you leave it? Probably when you fell asleep. So the same thing goes for anything. Is if you know, put it this way, we know what it takes to win. We know
Yeah.
how we can get people to winning. All we need
Yeah.
is to build the trust and confidence in order for them to say, hey, and that's what LINKTANK is. This is a preview, and
Yeah.
this is a deep dive into our mentality, our way of doing business, and can we help people get to a place they're having trouble with? Like Mike says, absolutely.
Yeah. So just we, look, every 20 minutes, Tuesday and Friday, we want to give you one or two things you're going to go and take away and utilize. LinkTank, Don and I's program, which is going to be a monthly program. Then we're going to go deeper into stuff like this. This is the Octopus Strategy. Octopus has tentacles, right? So this Octopus Strategy has 6 different places. I showed you one place to do this very strategic outbound, right? Events, groups, comments on posts, see reviewed profile, messenger network, and sales navigator. So there's so many things that we've put together that we've tested that work, that don't work, that we're constantly using. And there's a old expression: you can do things the hard way or the smart way. And so both Don and I, we have a lot of gray hair. I got no hair, but we both did LinkedIn the hard way. So I heard Gary Vaynerchuk. It took me 5 months to get dialed in. I've got 50 people in my organization. I took 5 and me, and it took 4, almost 5 months to really actually get any traction at all. Now, for the last 18 months, we've taken maybe 100 people through my program, running 60 people concurrently. Every day we're in LinkedIn. We have a finger on the pulse. Don started basically the same. You started on your own, and how many did you start with? How many connections?
I started with what, 1,000 or so that I acquired just from business cards, right? And in 6 months, I jumped it to 25,000. And now I'm at 37,000. And it's like a snowball going up a hill. In the beginning, it takes so long. On the other side, you can't stop it, right? And
Yeah,
then
you're actually trying to get rid of people that aren't ideal customers because they're just in the connections, but they're not. They're just taking up room, actually.
well, yeah, and it's evidence of what you don't know in the beginning to what you learn as you go through, and then what you master. And really, out of 37,000, I could cut it down to 100 and it'd be more than I'd ever need to do everything, because you amplify through others. Like Mike says, if there's 500 people on this show eventually viewing it, multiply that by their LinkedIn connections, right? Because we're using the LinkedIn base to have this show on LinkedIn Live. We're bringing LINKTANK in, which is all about optimizing your LinkedIn. And we're out there with open arms saying, give yourself a chance. Trust yourself. Bet a little bit of your time and maybe even a little less money, just to see what you might be missing, or confirm that you're in good shape. But that couldn't be true, because you'd be in good shape.
Yeah.
And if things didn't work, the last thing we'd be doing is taking time to share them with everybody and to make it so accessible. And I think that's the key. If Gary Vaynerchuk would call us up and say, I've got a group and I want you on my show twice a week, right? And I want to share everything I do in a month. I don't care what time it is, I'll be there, right? Because I know the value that rubs off. Forget about what one does.
I'd pay 10 grand a month.
Yeah. And there's people that probably do. So the point
Yeah.
is we're not 10
I
grand.
would. He doesn't offer that. I would pay 10 grand a month. Here's Gary Vaynerchuk. If you're listening right now, or if anyone wants to reach out, I will pay 10 grand a month for one session a month for an hour for you to just tell me what's crushing on LinkedIn. 10 grand a month. That's that's easy. That's easy money. The
Yeah.
guy is the king of LinkedIn. He's testing everything with a gazillion more resources than I ever have. So why wouldn't I pay 10,000 to get everything that's working and to avoid everything that's not? It's
Well,
crazy.
because you're a smart investor, right? And there's a trade-off between time and money. And just a few nuances you could pick up and apply would get your money back, but then you'd have a greater machine working for you, right?
Absolutely.
And an association, because if you could do it based on advice, you're a great testimonial for Gary, right? And maybe you could do for others like Gary's doing for others. And I think that's the key. There's so much opportunity. No one has to worry about someone getting in their territory, right?
Yeah.
Or right? It's open.
Yeah.
Point.
Yeah, there's 10 lifetimes worth of customers for everybody on LinkedIn. All right, Don. So this is the longest one we ever had. We got to subtract 10 minutes.
Well, it's the most fun we ever had too. And if those diehards really loved what we were saying from the beginning, hopefully we offered more value. And for the ones that left early, we had some knowledge share between us. So
yeah, and also below us, I put in. We haven't launched LINKTANK membership yet. It's going to be coming in the next couple weeks. But if you want in to be on the early admission list, just message Don and I and say, "Hey, I'm interested. I want in." And it's going to be simple. It's going to be a list, and then we're going to say we're live, and then we're off and running. It's going to be a tight community, as Don mentioned, of amazing, like-minded people that not only are we going to help share what we know in a very deep way with case studies and actually working specifically hands-on on people's LinkedIn, but the value of the group elevates everybody, because there's people doing things that Don and I aren't doing, and they're great, and they'll be like, "Oh no, I tried this and it was crushing it," and it's it's the way to go, because it's about community, it's about helping each other. Everyone wins. We elevate everyone, and it's about abundance. It's this is, Don and I theoretically we're competitors, right? He's helping people on LinkedIn, so am I, but we became best friends.
Mhm. Well, and I think Mike is so spot on with the intent of what we're trying to do. And also, we welcome all of your comments from the show. And feel free to look at the past shows, they're all out there. And we'll address any questions you have based on what we talked about today, based on anything you want to talk about next time and bring up and make part of the conversation. So we can't do it without you, right? You can do it without us, but the question is how well, how fast, and how much fun. If you're not enjoying what you're doing, if you're not with people that are laughing most of the time, kidding each other, not getting too tough on each other for there is no mistakes. What we talked about the other day, there is no failure, only feedback.
Yeah.
And one other key takeaway we had from one of Mike's meeting, which was incredible, is a gentleman who said, get known before you get needed. And that's what LinKTANK and LinkedIn can do for you, and that's what we can help with. So looking forward to Fridays, and hopefully everybody takes our advice. Try to apply it. We're not pleading, but encouraging to just give
And then
yourself.
let us know if you, like go and go put the keyword in, go find some active posts, go make some comments on some comments, do just like we showed, and then let us know and say, Mike, I did 10 of them and no one responded. And then we'll say, okay, send us a screenshot. Oh, that's, you weren't inviting, you were too forthright. Oh,
Mhm.
we'll help you. We'll help
Well,
you. But you have to take action. Otherwise, forget it. As they say in New York, forget about it.
Well, to follow up on that or to layer on that, if anybody does that, we'll read it live on Friday. So
Yes.
do a case thing, and your name will be mentioned. And feel free to connect with us if we're not. But yeah, we want to give the right recognition to the people who are really digging in, and we are open to early adopters to get the launch going just great to follow up all the other momentum. So, anyways, we got so much to share, but there will be Friday. So we'll
Yes.
continue then.
All right, everyone, over and out. Have an amazing one. Thank you, Don. Thank you so much. Thanks, everybody.
Always a pleasure.